Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Tom Spark. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about, what am I talking about again? Today we're going to be talking about the 5 most overhyped VPNs there are. Hey guys, if you are new to the channel, go ahead and check out my website, vpntierlist.com. This website serves as kind of like an archive of all of my VPN reviews, ranked by tiers. You could click on the VPN to visit the website or the VPN website, the number to visit the review on my YouTube channel, or you could even check out my other tier lists, and including my favorite product page where I talk about some of my favorite products I use online day to day. Anyways, back to the video. Now, VPNs themselves have become increasingly hyped. And what do I mean by that? Well, I guess they've just been shown to a lot of people. They've been over marketed. Everyone's like, oh, do I need a VPN? Do I not need one? People who don't really, in my opinion, have the right to advertise for VPN or talk about it are doing so just because it's a good way for them to make money on YouTube or Twitch. Most of the time, people who are getting demonetized will find programs like VPN, Raid Shadow Legends, Squarespace, and the list goes on. But at the end of the day, a lot of VPNs are overhyped. They're overmarketed. Today, we're going to be talking about those specific VPNs, if they're worth using or not, and which better ones to use. So guys, the first one on the list is undoubtedly NordVPN. NordVPN is in a way its own little niche kind of shill space. It's just like Raid Shadow Legends, Squarespace. It's like so infamous that I got like 25,000 upvotes on Reddit's subreddit asshole design for having a countdown clock that never end. In a way, NordVPN kind of spells out what it means to overmarket or oversaturate a niche. It's kind of bought out most of the popular YouTubers like PewDiePie. It's sponsored some people like Pay Money Wubby. And mostly people don't really know anything about VPN. They're just trying to make a quick buck and tell their audience to use it without really knowing anything about what VPNs actually do. Most people who are watching these people, I would guess they probably don't really need VPN that much. So is NordVPN really worth using? Well, not really. It's had a lot of security breaches. It got hacked last year and there's a big blow up about that. It's had credential stuffing attacks. It's gotten in trouble for false advertising the dangers of public Wi-Fi. It's has a lot of issues in the past, and it's tried to kind of rectify by some of these things by doing PR stunts like making a bug bounty program, which, by the way, just always has these really bad bugs. So it's definitely overhyped, overmarketed, and not worth using at all. The second one on this list is ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN, I would say, is probably the second most advertised VPN after NordVPN, giving it a lot of hype. It's very popular on podcasts. It's very popular on YouTubers as well. You see people like Jerry Rig Everything and H3H3 advertising ExpressVPN. Again, these people don't really know about VPN. They're just kind of advertising it, probably because ExpressVPN reached out to these guys, offering them sweet affiliate and sponsorship deals that'll make them a lot of money. However, unlike NordVPN, I would actually say that ExpressVPN is worth using. Sure, it does have some cons, like the fact that it's very expensive. That said, the product I think could improve some things. Like it doesn't have proxy support for SOC 5 proxy inclusion, for adding that into BitTorrent, so that way you don't have to use VPN. Most other VPNs, or at least the good ones, do include this. Not only that, it does have limited connections, having only 5 simultaneous connections, where some VPNs offer up to 10 or even 8, so you could use more simultaneous devices, or even kind of share your VPN with your family, maybe easily more than you can do with ExpressVPN. That said, it's a decent product, much better than NordVPN, actually one of my top VPNs here on the channel, but it still is, I think, a little bit overhyped and overly marketed. Next up on the list is going to be IPVanish. IPVanish is definitely one of the most popular VPNs out there, kind of shilled around kind of the lower echelons of YouTube. Smaller YouTubers who are really into Kodi, Fire Sticks and stuff like this, they really like to show IPVanish. I'm not really sure why. IPVanish is always reaching out to me to get me to promote them more, and when I tell them I don't really promote VPNs based on how much they will pay me for sponsorships, it's just more about how much I like them, they kind of stop responding. But ExpressVPN, I think it's a little bit overpriced for what it is, since it doesn't really work with that many streaming services. The company itself has changed hands like 3 or 4 times in the last 5 years, which is never really a good thing for the customers, because your data is just getting transferred from company to company. You don't really know if you could trust the company anymore or not, especially if someone new owns it. IPVanish did get in trouble for giving up logs on users in the past, so a lot of people kind of lost trust in IPVanish. However, most people on YouTube talking about IPVanish or trying to get you to buy it don't mention any of these things. They just want you to buy it because it has 100% commissions, and I definitely think they overhype it a lot as the best VPN. You know, they say, oh, it has the best speeds ever. You know, it has okay speeds, it has good, decent apps, and it's not a bad VPN, but I think it's definitely overhyped as one of the best ones out there. Whereas I would say it's probably just kind of a little bit better than average, not the best VPN. Windscribe, no doubt about it, is definitely one of the most hyped VPNs out there. Not so much in terms of YouTube or advertising, but just kind of within the community itself, and when the community tries to influence other people's opinions. You won't really find Windscribe topping any review sites, because most of the time I think it's because the CEO is so toxic and always fighting people on Twitter. I think if the company and the management spent more time, less time on Twitter, less time on Discord, and more time fixing their product, it would be a better product overall. That's because this year they've had some pretty big problems, like an IP leak issue with their extension that was pretty much a thing for 2 or 3 months, which is not a very good look for the company. Although the issue wasn't with the VPN client, it was with their Chrome extension specifically. The support team is also kind of non-existent for Windscribe. You expect long support times. Your questions will take a long time to be answered, and speeds aren't always the best compared to some other services out there. That said, Windscribe does have really good streaming compatibility, the price is right, and overall the applications are very good. I just do think that it's hyped up way more than it really has merit to be. Last up on this list is going to be Mullvad VPN. Similar to Windscribe, it's not really topping that many review lists or being overly marketed on YouTube. However, I do think that people like Mullvad do tend to kind of talk about it and try to get more people to use it a little bit more than it deserves. That's because I think Mullvad does need to kind of improve certain things. It only just barely got an iOS application out, which mainly uses WireGuard, and Mullvad has really good WireGuard support now, although I don't think it's quite ready for prime time yet. They just only barely got that iOS app out for after what, like 6 or 7 years, which is a long time to release an application. Their application used to look horrible. It was horribly updated. They've kind of recently improved a lot of things about their service. However, that said, I do think that they could improve kind of how their customer support works. They don't have any live chat on the website. Additionally, some of the speeds for the service aren't really that good kind of worldwide. Some people say it's a little bit better in the EU, not so much in the USA. Not only that, but Mullvad does not include any streaming compatibility, which is definitely a letdown for a lot of people, since a lot of people are using VPN to unblock streaming restrictions and geo restrictions, and overall, Mullvad, it's not really going to be good for that. That said, it has a really good price point, only $5 a month or around $60 a year, because you can't really lower the price by getting a year subscription like you can with some other VPNs. It's also very private and secure, and overall a decent VPN provider. However, I do think it's a little bit overhyped by people who like Mullvad. Anyways, guys, these are my top 5 most overhyped VPNs out there. I actually just remembered that I would like to add Surfshark to this list, so we're now making it 6 most overhyped VPNs. Now, Surfshark is kind of a newer entry to the VPN marketplace, popping up only around 2 years ago. Now, a lot of people, it's kind of shilled on review sites mainly, and a lot of ranking sites that I don't really trust to be that accurate. They say Surfshark's the best because of the speeds, the stream compatibility, the fact that it has unlimited connections, and it has a really good long-term pricing models. But for me, I'm not really that impressed by it, because I don't think you should buy a VPN longer than a year at a time. The speeds for me haven't been that good. The application hasn't always been that reliable. Sometimes it's buggy, it doesn't work right. The streaming service compatibility isn't always as consistent as other options. And I don't really know anything about the company besides that it's just anonymously based in the British Virgin Islands. So it's like, okay. But besides that, I don't really know anything about the company. Not only that, but my Surfshark video where I talk about 5 reasons not to use it has a really bad dislike to like ratio, almost like 50-50. I think it has like 100 likes, 100 dislikes. Kind of weird there. Usually that doesn't happen in my videos, so it seems like it's kind of getting dislike bombed, perhaps by fanboys or people hyping it up, or maybe just company itself. Who's to say? Anyways, guys, let me know down in the comments down below if you have any ideas about other VPNs that are overhyped and your thoughts on them. I would be curious to know, and I'll see you guys in the next video very soon.